Lisa here. Now I'm here for the Bitcoin weekly update, and there's probably nobody on Twitter or YouTube that cares about crypto anymore, but that's okay. I'm still here. I still care. I still love you guys. So what I want to know is, why is nobody talking about the 6 monthly futures that release in 2 days? So we have a huge amount of 6 monthly futures that are about to release in 2 days. So they can get renegotiated, they can get rolled over, but the majority of these are going to get released because this is the perfect time to release them, because they are going to be in either heavy losses or, you know, some nice profit. So yeah, so let's have a look at the chart and see where we were 6 months ago. So 6 months ago we were here. So at this point we were at $51,000. Heaps of people were saying that we were going to be going, you know, up to 100,000. So if these whales that bought these futures thought that we were going long, now these are going to sell short, which I don't think is the case. So a lot of these futures are bought by, you know, banks and, you know, exchanges and people that kind of, you know, want Bitcoin to not be going up as much as it was. So, you know, they're going to be shorts. So the majority of these like futures, and there was a lot of them 6 months ago, are going to be shorts. So what does shorts, how do shorts buy into the market? Well, they buy long. So it's the opposite. So to close a short, you buy a long. And so if there's a lot of these, that means the market is potentially about to bounce. So in the next day or two. So, and it surprises me that nobody is talking about this. So basically, what we can see here is we've got this C wave, which potentially we could have finished. There's a very truncated last wave, or we could be in an ABC structure still to have one more wave down. So if we do that, we'll go down to about 14K. If we don't, we potentially are going to bounce around this region for a little bit. So the alternative to this looks like an impulse. And so the impulse looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could have done the 1, we're going up for our 3, coming back for our 4, and then going up for our 5. So, and that would take us to around 28K. So potentially we have a major pullback coming at about the 25K mark. That is also the median line on this channel. So it is my thoughts and opinion that we are about to go long with the release of all these shorts that nobody's talking about, and then come back down. So potentially that could break us through this resistance here and then come down the other side and retest. So if that's the case, 28K is looking great. You know, I know you guys are not hearing a bar of that at the moment, but potentially futures are what makes this market move. And, you know, when there's no money being printed, futures is where the volume comes from. So, and, you know, looking back at where those futures were, so they were at 51K. So potentially a lot of these are going to be short and they're going to go long. So we've got this previous support here as well that needs to be tested. Supports were made to be broken down, obviously, as resistances, and when they become resistances, they need to be tested. So this is at 37K. So imagine if we could get to 25K, then we pull back and we hold, and people are like, hang on a sec, is the bottom in? Is it not? You know, and then we continue up. So potentially the bottom's in, potentially it's not. There's two patterns. We haven't hit the pivots yet. The pivot is at 28K. So, you know, we need to break through that. So we need to pass this third wave. So we could, like the previous pattern, an ABC, or we've got an impulse wave. So the immediate waves, we can see that we're curling down. So if we have a look at this pattern, potentially this is an inverse cup and handle, so which would come right down, which should hold the bottom and then potentially take all the way back up. So, you know, that's a potential. Also, if we're zooming in, zooming out of this chart, because we're on a 15-minute at the moment, we can see that we've got this diagonal support. So this diagonal support that we pierced through due to the fact that we had cascading sell orders from the liquidations, we don't have that at the moment, so this should hold. So which is about 19,200 and then a continuation up. So, you know, over the next day or so, we should sort of gradually head down to that range, maybe a little bit lower. And then once those futures release, I think we're going to be up and looking at those, you know, sort of low 20s again. So that's kind of where it's sitting for me. But, you know, this is the best time to be practicing, you know, all the different styles of trading. So, you know, if you want to scalp trade, you know, there's always money to be made in small amounts of margin. Do not over margin because you will lose all of your money. But, you know, head to my YouTube channel, Scalp Trade Like a Pro, tells you how to, you know, set up the indicators on your trading view, and, you know, you can get into those small trades making 1% moves, and which Bitcoin is doing at the moment very easily. And, you know, in a 10 times margin, that's 10%. So, you know, those small little trades each way are going to help when there's not a lot happening in the market. So again, don't forget that we've got the futures happening. So that is something to definitely watch. And I have no idea why nobody's talking about it, because there's a hell of a lot of them that were purchased back in January and they're releasing. So they are releasing at the end of this month or the beginning of July. And, you know, it's my opinion that they were short and we're about to go long. So, you know, for all of those bears out there, I could be wrong. And you might be like still in your shorts and we're going lower. But this is a strong, strong support. And I think we do need to retest those previous supports, which are now resistances, higher up. And, you know, just for the health and, you know, overall health of Bitcoin, long term. So we're looking at the long-term picture. It may take a couple of months to get there. It's not going to be a quick thing. But, you know, the futures are going to drive this market, and, you know, that's where our volume is going to come from now, not from, you know, Bitfinex and Tether printing money at the moment. That's sort of on hold, but we do have a lot of futures coming out from when we did have those money prints. So just be careful if you are in shorts. There is a potential that we are going to get a nice big candle. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching, and stay safe in the market. Bye.